and saved me.
One time for the Lord, and one time for the cause, and one round of applause, one time for Fraser T. Smith on the chords. I think we got one. I stay prayed up, then I get the job done. Yeah, I'm Abigail's youth, but I'm God's son. But I'm up now, look at what God's done. Nah, real talk, look at what God did. On the main stage, running around topless. I phone flips, then I tell him that we got this. This is God's plan, they can never stop this. Like, wait right there, could you stop my verse? You saved this kid and I'm not your first. It's not by blood and it's not by birth, but oh my God, what a God I serve.
Lord, I've been broken, although I'm not worthy. You fixed me, I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me. Lord, I've been broken, although I'm not worthy. You fixed me, now I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
I said a prayer this morning. I prayed I would find a way to another day. I was so afraid till you came and saved. You came and saved me. And the rain was pouring, 'cause the sun faded away. Now I'm in a better place, no longer afraid. Blinded by your grace, you came and saved me. Yeah. I said a prayer this morning. I prayed I would find a way to another day. I was so afraid till you came and saved. You came and saved me. And the rain was pouring, 'cause the sun faded away. Now I'm in a better place, no longer afraid. Blinded by your grace, you came and saved me. Yeah.
Although I'm not worthy, you fixed me. I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me. Lord, I've been broken. You fixed me. I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
I'm blinded by your grace. I'm blinded by your grace, by your grace. I'm blinded by your grace. I'm blinded by your. Lord, I've been broken, although I'm not worthy. You fixed me, I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
Lord, I've been broken, although I'm not worthy. You fixed me, now I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
One time for the Lord, and one time for the cause, and one round of applause, one time for Fraser T. Smith on the chords. I think we got one. I stay prayed up, then I get the job done. Yeah, I'm Abigail's youth, but I'm God's son. But I'm up now, look at what God's done. Nah, real talk, look at what God did. On the main stage, running around topless. I phone flips, then I tell him that we got this. This is God's plan, they can never stop this. Like, wait right there, could you stop my verse? You saved this kid and I'm not your first. It's not by blood and it's not by birth, but oh my God, what a God I serve.
Lord, I've been broken, although I'm not worthy. You fixed me, I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me. Lord, I've been broken, although I'm not worthy. You fixed me, now I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
I said a prayer this morning. I prayed I would find a way to another day. I was so afraid till you came and saved. You came and saved me. And the rain was pouring, 'cause the sun faded away. Now I'm in a better place, no longer afraid, blinded by your grace. You came and saved me, yeah. I said a prayer this morning, I prayed I would find a way to another day. I was so afraid till you came and saved. You came and saved me. And the rain was pouring, 'cause the sun faded away. Now I'm in a better place, oh I'm not afraid, blinded by your grace. You came and saved me, yeah.
Although I'm not worthy, you fixed me. I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me. Lord, I've been broken. You fixed me. I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
I'm blinded by your grace. I'm blinded by your grace, by your grace. I'm blinded by your grace. I'm blinded by your Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fix me. I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fixed me. Now I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
One time for the Lord, and one time for the cause. And one round of applause, one time for Fraser T. Smith on the chords. I think we got one. I stay prayed up, then I get the job done. Yeah, I'm Abigail's youth, but I'm God's son. But I'm up now, look at what God's done. Nah, real talk, look at what God did. On the main stage, running around topless. I phone flips, then I tell him that we got this. This is God's plan, they can never stop this. Like, wait right there, could you stop my verse? You saved this kid and I'm not your first. It's not by blood and it's not by birth, but oh my God, what a God I serve.
Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fixed me. I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me. Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fixed me. Now I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
I said a prayer this morning, I prayed I would find a way.
blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fixed me. Now
stay prayed up, then I get the job done. Yeah, I'm Abigail's youth, but I'm God's son. But I'm up now, look at what God's done. No, I'm real tall, look at what God did. On the main stage, running around topless. My phone flips, then I tell him that we got this. This is God's plan, they can never stop this. Lad, wait right there, could you stop my verse? You saved this kid and I'm not your first. It's not by blood and it's not by birth, but oh my God, what a God I serve.
Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fix me. I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me. Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fix me. Now I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
I said a prayer this morning. I prayed I would find a way to another day. I was so afraid till you came and saved. You came and saved me, and the rain was burning.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Soul Reflection, Unveiling the Spirit Beyond the Youth. Last week, we were discussing a very important topic that resonates with many of us: faith versus fear. It was a very important topic discussing about our fears, anxiety, and uncertainty. But as Christians, how we have to hold on to faith. We had a very important guest that came to speak with us, Lady Reverend Dora. On this week's episode of Soul Reflection, we will be having a part 2. Now, this show is brought to you by Kingdom Keys Chapel. And so we would like to first of all thank the head of the church, Prophet Isaac Osei, for giving us this opportunity. We would like to also thank our producer for helping us all the way from overseas. We would like to thank our audience, and we would like to thank our panelists. This show is also sponsored by a couple of people, a couple of companies actually. So our first sponsor is Speedlink Door-to-Door, shipping from UK to Ghana. Speedlink Travel and Freight Limited, it specializes in sea freight services. They are the number one company for hassle-free and super efficient delivery of your goods from the UK to Ghana. Our next sponsor is Intuma Papefi. Shop our premium authentic clothing made from high quality materials, available in both UK and Ghana. Our third sponsor is eMedia, your go-to media solution for top-notch graphic design, website development, and broadcast services. And as you know, Kingdom Keys Chapel is another sponsor. And we have Connie's Authentic Restaurant that we would play a video for. At the moment, we're just going to go for a short commercial break. And then when we come back, we will be discussing the part 2 of faith versus fear.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Looking for some fun and faith-filled entertainment for your little ones? Introducing the Little Light Show, an ultimate destination for the young hearts seeking inspiration.
Hey friends, have you ever wondered why I pray? Or how about why being kind is super important? We will laugh, we will learn, and we also have a blast together. Join us as we dive into these awesome topics and more.
Get ready for interactive games, special guests, and plenty of surprises along the way. Tune in first Monday of every month for faith, fun, and friendship. Live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m.
Don't let Satan it up, I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let Satan it up, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it
London ha. Me bibie koyi. Nanso madia ne nsam kwade. Enkoyi. Sebeya menya Ghana duane papa bie di no. Eno ane me problem.
Minia, so the oyaba fresh. Dimachi, na me kochiro kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant. Na benya Ghana duane papa ni nyina bie di. Na ba san kwan ya bra won fifie.
And the boga yentem fa me won so sesia. Na de enya fufuo ni aponche kakra medi.
Wunni how cry. Kone special restaurant e wa Ghana duane bi te se. Fufuo ni adren kwan, fufuo ni nkrakra, fufuo ni aben kwan, na sen kate kwan. Pima mpesi na ba yam pesi ni kontomre. Nkran do kro papa bi. Wache jollof rice ne fried rice. Banku ni nkruma. Ba ya chine chofi. Ba ya chine tilapia. A confirm kebab ne ne keka ho. Minia, Mr. Ghana aduane bi a wonim bia. Ubenya bi e wa Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant. Fieda, mimne da na kwasi da bia. Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant. Ebe ma tuoza afi papa bi. Ani mutuo special. Niema Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant. Edan so kra ne se. Se wo pe stew na se nkwan bi akwese o fridge ba. Na wadi ni kakra. Kone sebra no be sort out kra. Asemode ne se. Fieda na mimne da bia. Ye pon 2:30 am na mimne da. Live band chenche ejiram ye try na se ajiani ankasa. Hwehwe Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant. Ewo 85 to 87 Woodrange Road, Forest Gate, London, E70EP. Fred Bekwe ewo telephone number so +44 75 78 611 211 and +44 73 09 427 2127.
Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant. Anokwa. Mama Sankwan.
To another day, I was so afraid till you came and saved. You came and saved me, and the rain was pouring, 'cause the sun faded away. Now I'm in a better place, no longer afraid.
Good evening and welcome back to Soul Reflection. In this segment, we're going to introduce our panelists and then we would delve into our discussion. So we will be joined by KEZIAH and TRACY. Good evening. Hello. Hi. So we're going to quickly dive into our discussion for tonight. Following the discussion and the research that was done in regards to last week's discussion on soul reflection, what is everyone's idea of faith? And what is their personal experience that can support their idea of faith?
I think faith is synonymous with trust. So where you have faith, that's where you have trust, and they work together. So where you have faith in God, that you trust in His plans, even when things are going wrong or things aren't going the way that you think they should be going, because you have that faith in God, you trust that things will be better for you, or that what He's doing in that moment of your life is what's going to help you. Personal experiences, I think being in school and being like maybe afraid of, like, not afraid but nervous before an exam, just having faith that it will go well, or even if it doesn't go well, then there might be a reason for that and there might be something better that can come out of it. And that's
Okay, thank you for that. Tracy?
I think faith can be defined as complete trust or confidence in someone or something. So it links to Keziah's point about how trust links with faith. And in Christianity, faith can be seen as trust in God. And I think faith plays a huge role in our lives as we benefit from it. So, for example, through our faith we are saved, and this can be seen in Ephesians 2:8, as it says, "For it is by grace that you have been saved through faith." So I think that through faith we can receive many things, like being saved or being healed. And I think personal experience, maybe public speaking. So having faith in God to just hope that everything will go well. I think, yeah.
Okay. Oh, thank you guys for that. So unfortunately, last week I wasn't able to say all that I had prepared for the show, and so I think this kind of gives me the leeway to speak on what I had to say last week. Fortunately for me, I went to like a high school that was named So our principles, thing that we did was regarding faith. And in that school, I was referred to Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good testimony." And I've known this for a couple of years, but especially for last week's discussion, I got a very good revelation about that very scripture, because it says is the substance of things hoped for. It means when something is a substance, it means that it's something that is tangible. It's something that you can hold on to. It's something that you can feel, you can see. It's tangible. And so if it's a tangible thing and you've hoped for it, so when you hope for something and it becomes real, that's when you kind of have faith. And then it's the evidence of things not seen. So we all know God, but we can't physically see him on earth. And so is when God does something for us is the evidence of him. When God heals the sick, is evidence of him. He provides for you financially, or provide in terms of feeding, especially when you're in a situation where you have no idea where something good is going to come from. Um, that evidence of it is faith. And so by reading my Bible and by meditating and by God especially last week, I've known this all my life and I have prayed and I have been a Christian, but especially last week, he kind of dawned it on me that it's by him giving us a testament of himself. It's by him proving to us that he is God, by him giving us something that we can testify about. That's what builds our faith. And so faith becomes a substance, faith becomes an evidence, faith becomes a physical thing, a physical manifestation of God. And to me, that's what faith is like. Just by knowing that God has done this miracle for someone else and he's done it for me in the past and he can do it again. That's what builds faith. That's what makes me like kind of cling onto faith. And so that is my addition to what we had to say about faith. I think the second question I wanted us to kind of discuss about is in times of uncertainty or crisis, what role does faith play in finding peace and direction?
Is really difficult. Um, it's good to remember that your past testimonies and where God has helped you before, and look at other people's lives and how He's helped them. Even looking in the Bible, there's many places in the Bible where it shows where God has, pulled through for someone. Even with the disciples when they were out in the sea and they met thousands of people and they only had 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes, it was still enough to feed all of the people there. Like God was able to multiply it. If they didn't have that faith in God and trust in God that He was going to do that, or find a way out for them to feed all those people, then it might have not happened. But because they had that, it was able to happen. So I think also reading the Bible is a good place to like keep us secure in our relationships with God, so we can see the evidence of His of people having trust in Him and it working out for them.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can you repeat the question?
I was saying that in times of uncertainty or crisis, What role do you play in finding peace and direction?
What role does faith play in finding peace and direction? Um, to Keziah's point, like seeing other people having faith and they getting what their heart desires from them. I think it just helps other people, like us Christians, as we believe that all of us are like brothers and sisters. As we see our brothers and sisters, like gaining their desires from their faith, I think that can help us find um within our faith, and I think also find or looking at examples in the Bible, for example, paralyzed man who had his friend who had faith, which helped him get paralyzed. I think seeing examples of that can help us find peace.
Um, Before I go into my own answer for that, regards to what Tracy you just said, looking at our friends and family or other people, sometimes do you not think that that can kind of cause a bit of depression, where you look at other people and you're thinking, "Oh God, you're doing this for this person," and maybe or I'm not getting what I want from you, or I'm doing this and that, and this person doesn't seem to be outwardly doing these Christian things, but yet they're reaping the benefits that Christians have been promised. Can we think about that and kind of give like a bit of an answer to that?
Yeah, I think that can also like bring frustration because maybe someone has been waiting on God for a long time, and someone maybe has given testimony that they'll wait 2 weeks. They got so think I think it God's timing is like in different. God works at different times for different people. So have someone may have faith for 2 weeks, and whatever they were looking for would appear to them in 2 weeks, whereas yours it might take a long time. So I think it just depends, and God works in different times. So yeah,
Okay. Okay, thank you. I think I would also respond to that, but my response to the question I posed, in times of uncertainty or crisis, what role does faith play in finding peace and direction? Um, Before the pandemic, I had an experience where a cousin of mine was doing Bible studies, and at that time, I was going through a moment of uncertainty, and that was my biggest fear in life. Yeah, other people are scared of like animals and death and other things, and I'm also very scared of certain animals. But my biggest fear was uncertainty, the fear of the unknown, which we discussed last week, and not knowing what can happen in 5 seconds, what can happen in a few minutes, what can happen after years of trying your best to achieve something and in something, and then maybe if you're even able to get it, you just simply die and leave it, or you you take your time to maybe in terms of skincare, you're taking care of your ears, you maybe in terms of, yeah, maybe someone wants to be a model or something, and you're taking care of your skin, you're doing all that you have to do, and then you get into an accident that damages your skin, that breaks your legs. That was the kind of uncertainty I was going through. Like, how about if you spend years in education and you end up with no job, or you get married and you have no kid? It was just very unnecessary, and that was my big. And in the moment when my cousin was having a Bible study and we were reading the word and stuff like that, God was able to drop in my spirit that yes, I may have the biggest fear of an uncertainty, but faith is an antidote. When you have faith, you're able to understand that regardless of what it is, God is able to work a miracle. God is able to come through. God is able to put things together. God is able to miraculously put you places that you never thought you would go. God is able to take you out of shame, pain, and so many other things. And so you can be uncertain in a situation you may have no hope in it, but faith comes in there because faith is the substance of things hoped for. Faith is the evidence of things not seen. Faith is very tangible. Faith is the work of God coming to life for you to understand that you must trust in Him and you must believe in Him. And so when that revelation moment, I shared it in my Bible study group, and we all kind of had this understanding of it, and it really helped me, especially because after that the pandemic came, and the pandemic was a very uncertain time when no one knew what was going on, no economy knew what was happening and how to handle it. And so it was through faith that I was carried. It was through faith that God pushed through so many things for me and with me. And so when it comes to uncertain times or crisis or anything, I just have to recall what God said to me, and I have to remind myself of how far He's brought me and how far He's brought other people, testimonies and miracles He's given unto other people, how He's healed the sick, how He's given children to the barren, how He's come through for so many people, especially even in the Bible. The Bible is the tangibility of faith. It has so many stories of people who have walked with God and have been through certain trials and tribulations, and they've come out victors, and they've come out with so many miracles that God has done. And so that is how I deal with uncertainty and crisis. And when it comes to maybe looking at other people and thinking, that was a question I posed as well, looking at other people and thinking, how are they getting testimonies and I'm not, or how are they getting the things that I really wanted and I'm not. I kind of rely on the discipline of being a Christian. um I think we discussed this a few weeks where discipline also is celebrating other people's testimonies, celebrating other people's um, miracles, celebrating things that God has done for other people. And through celebrating for other people, God sees how pure your heart is. God sees that you're happy regardless. You have a grateful heart. You're thankful that although you didn't get it for yourself, He's doing it for someone else, and that means He can do it for you. Even if it's not yet your turn, it means God still has the power. It means that He's very capable of doing exceedingly abundantly above all. And so that's literally what I think. Does anyone kind of agree with that, or does anyone have anything else to say to add on to that?
What you've said.
Pardon?
I agree with what you said.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next question, which is, how can I remind myself of God's promises in moments of fear? Does any Tracy, would you like to go first?
Um, I think looking in the Bible, 'cause that's where is our friend. So being close with, being present in your and on your word would help you and remind you of the promises that God has given. Um, so I think, yeah, just being in contact regularly with your word will help you and remind you of the promises that God has given you.
Um, Kesha, do you want to?
I agree with what Chelsea said. I think reading the Bible is very important because how can you believe in God and like have faith and trust in God if you don't read the word and get your evidence from there? Because I say you're a beginner in Christ and you're just finding God, it will be hard for you to understand the way God works and how His timing might be different to ours, as Tracy said previously. And if you are a beginner or you're just someone that is finding it difficult to believe in God, it is easier to, because it's not always an easy journey to have faith, but it makes it easier if you're reading the word and you're reading these stories about how, people that had faith in God and, they succeeded or they done well in what they was trying to do. So I think that's very important because obviously the word of God is how we get to know God anyways. So it is, very important to indulge in that.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Um, well, my answer to that, how I can remind myself of God's promises in moments of fear is by looking back on how far He's brought me. Can everyone hear me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So by looking back on how far He's brought me, I'm not that old. I think I'm not that old, but I'm not that young, and I've kind of experienced that. I'm grateful to people because I've been able to learn from them and I've been able to um, know things that I wouldn't have known if things hadn't been the way things have been. And so I'm able to look back on how far God has brought me and I'm able to thank Him. I'm able to continuously trust in Him because there's been times when God has actually taken me through the word. I was told by someone that I might get to a point where God will take me through the word, might take me through the word. And I put in the effort to do that. And in reading the word and in knowing God for myself, I was really able to get to know certain things about Him in regards to other people's journeys and in regards to where they were and how He met them on the way and how He showed Himself to them and how He revealed so many things and did miracles and gave them testimonies. And so um, I remind myself that I've come reading the Bible. Another thing I do as well is by soaking in the testimonies that come at church because people will just tell you a testimony of something. They give you the result, but they never really tell you the process. A process is always so difficult. Times of waiting, times of anxiety, times of uncertainty, times of waiting on a very need, times of putting in your effort, your so called 2 cents to try and make things work. And it can be very, very difficult. And so when people come out and they say, God has done it, God has been good to me, God has been gracious, I'm always able to soak it in because I think that I've been through certain processes that makes me amazed at other people's as well. Makes me appreciate their results as well because it's like, oh, it's never easy. Life is not easy. It's God's promise to, make it manageable and great and good. But then the process of getting there it can be very, very difficult. And so I'm able to soak in people's testimonies and thank Him based on their testimonies. Another thing I do as well is that apart from church or testimonies in church, I listen to um certain like sermons that have testimonies in it, testimonies that are unheard of, testimonies that I haven't physically, and I'm able to say, okay, yeah, oh, God is able to do this because He did something for me in the past. And so, of course, He can heal this person of lupus. Of course, He can heal this person of cancer. Of course, He can heal a whole family. Of course, He can save certain people from very tragic accidents. And so, I'm able to thank God for that and remind myself that He's promised us a good life if we stay on His path. He's promised us so many things for those that He's called His children and those who have accepted Christ as our personal Savior. And so that's how I'm able to do that. I think our next question, does anyone have anything to add? No. Okay. The next question is, how can fear be an opportunity for me to grow in my faith?
I think this relates to the other questions that we've asked, but I think it's easier said than done just to like remember that God is there. But then at times when like you're you're not strong in your faith or where you feel as if like your faith is weakening, I think it's just good to pray to God, just speak to God. I think just letting it out and expressing how you feel rather than praying for something to go your way, pray for like how you feel, like talk to him about how you feel. And yeah, I think that as well. Remembering God is always going to be with you. Like God will never put you in a situation that He knows that you can't handle, and He will never put you in a situation to just deal with it by yourself. He will always be there with you and navigate you through that situation and bring you out. And yeah, I think obviously it's easier said than done, like I've said before. But I think also faith is a very good thing to pray about because I think it's one of the hardest things to do as Christians to like have faith and trust in something, in someone that we've been told that is real, but like we are unable to see with our own eyes. But I think you should pray about having faith and being able to have faith in God, and then also talk about how you feel to God. I think some of us think you always just have to pray and your prayers need to be in a certain way. You can literally just speak to God like openly and express how you feel.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
So sorry,
Okay.
can you repeat the question again, please?
The question is, how can fear be an opportunity for me to grow in my faith?
I think this links back to like what you said about how if someone is in a like atmosphere where people are like gaining what their heart desires through their faith, and you're there like, oh, I've been waiting, I've been so eager about this, why hasn't my I think that well, so sorry, can you repeat the question again, please?
How can fear be an opportunity for me to grow in faith? Would you like me to come back to you?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes,
Okay.
please.
So, thank you. Okay. So, my understanding of that question is in regards to maybe a panicky situation. So, for instance, sometimes when you're in, let's just say, maybe in education, so when you're studying and you do an assessment, you kind of get some people, let me be personal and serious, I will get complacent and I will think I have so much time to get this done. And then the fear of the deadline is able to motivate me to get the work done before the deadline. And so sometimes fear is an opportunity to grow because it lets you put in the work to get the results you want. Um, when you're in a situation where maybe you're sick and you go to the hospital, they tell you there's nothing wrong with you, but you feel in your body that there's something wrong with you. You feel that there's something absolutely wrong. Sometimes you feel like you're near death. You kind of panic. You're just like, let me it motivates you to call unto God. It motivates you to be disciplined in your faith. You wouldn't be complacent and just lie down and say, okay, if I die, I die. It depends on what level of faith you're operating in, or it depends on where you are in your journey with God. But any normal person or any other person, let me cry out to my God because my God has done it before. That fear is pushing you to call on to God because you know that He can do it. You know it's tangible. You know He's here sick, you know that everywhere Jesus went, he was doing good. He healed the leopards. Yeah, leopards. He healed so many people. He did so much. And so if he was able to do it for those people, how different are you? Especially if you're in him and you call to him and you call him your father. And so fear can be an opportunity to grow because you get to get up out of your comfort zone. You get to get out of your complacency. You get to discipline yourself by praying, by having faith, by reading your word, by calling unto him, by saying, God, you've done it before. You did it for my mother, my grandmother. You did it for my aunties, my uncles. You did it for my pastor. You did it for my friend. So it's my turn. Like you kind of ask him to do something for you. And sometimes it's not just about getting things from God or getting certain results, by letting him know that he is your source of life. If things work out for you, it's to his glory. If it doesn't work out for you, it's his own name. So I think in 2022, there was this prayer I came across, which I had been praying previously. And the person said something about if things don't go well, it's your name that is being disgraced. It's at the end of the day, my life is meant to glorify you. And so if you do not glorify yourself in my life, it's your name that is being tarnished. And so glorify yourself in my life. And that prayer really touched me because it's a prayer that would always touch me because at the end of the day, I've come to the understanding of that my life is not my own and that my life is for God. If anything goes well, it's to his glory. If it doesn't go well, it's his own name. And so if he would like his name to be tarnished, he would like his name to be played with, then, he can do him. But if he wants glory, if he wants people to see me and say, God really glorified himself in this person's life, or this church's life, or that pastor's life, or these members of this church's life, then he would do it because I have faith. I've seen the tangibility of it. I've seen him do it before. I've seen him do it for myself. I've seen him do it for others. And so feeling anxious about a certain situation, a certain deadline, can motivate you in your discipline to draw nearer to God. Again, that's my answer to this question. Tracy, would you like to give an answer to this question?
I don't think like what you and Rachel touched on was like maybe negative fear, but I feel like also the fear of God could bring you closer and strengthen your faith in God. So as the fear of God is having fear towards God, so like having a fear that you might not obey him or disrespect him through your actions. So I think understanding that having the fear of God will draw you closer to God. And also, I think it says in Proverbs that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. So I feel like having the fear of God will just bring you closer to God. And I think obeying his commandments, so the more you obey, the more you draw closer, the more you have trust. So I think just having the fear of God and reminding yourself that having the fear of God is important and it plays a huge role in a Christian's increase your trust and your faith.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I think it also correlates with last week's question. What's the difference between healthy and unhealthy fear? And so, yeah, thank you for that. We're going to go on a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to read certain comments and then give our final notes of discussion on the show. Thank you.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Looking for some fun and faith-filled entertainment for your little ones? Introducing the Little Light Show, an ultimate destination for the young hearts seeking inspiration.
Hey friends, have you ever wondered why I pray? Or how about why being kind is super important? We will laugh, we will learn, and we also have a blast together. Join us as we dive into these awesome topics and more.
Get ready for interactive games, special guests, and plenty of surprises along the way. Tune in first Monday of every month for Faith, Fun, and Friendship. Live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m.
Don't let Satan it up. I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let Satan it up. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Me ba London ha me bibie koyi nanso madia ne nsam kwade enkoyi sebe ya menya Ghana duane papa bie di no eno ne me problem
Minia, so the oyaba fresh. Dimachi, na min kochiro kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant. Na banya Ghana nnuane papa ni nyina biedi. Na obesan kwan ya bra won fifie.
and the boga yentem fa me wo so sisi a na de enya fufuo ni aponche kakra medi
Wunni how cry. Kone special restaurant ewa Ghana nnuane bi te se. Fufuo ni adren kwan, fufuo ni nkrakra, fufuo ni aben kwan, nansen kate kwan. Pima mpesi na bayam pesi ni nkontomre. Nkrado kro papa bi. Wache jollof rice ne fried rice. Banku ni nkruma. Bayaya ya chine chofi. Bayaya ya chine tilapia. A confirm kebab ne ne keka ho. Minia, Mr. Ghana aduane bi a wonim bia. Ubenya bi ewa Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant. Fieda, mimne da na kwesi da bia. Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant. Ebe ma otioza afi papa bi. Ani mutuo special. Niema Kone special authentic Ghanaian restaurant. Edan so kra ne se. Se wo pesti na se nkwa bi akweso.
Blinded by your grace, you came and set me. Yeah. I said a prayer this morning. I prayed I would find a way to another day. I was so afraid till you came and said, you came and set me. And the rain was born, 'cause the sun faded away. Now I'm in a better place. Oh, I'm not afraid. Blinded by your grace, you came and set me.
I'm blinded by your grace. I'm blinded by your grace, by your grace. I'm blinded by your grace. I'm blinded by your Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fix me. I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me. Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fixed me. Now I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me. One time for the Lord, and one time for the cause. And one round of applause, one time for Fraser T. Smith on the chords. I think we got one. I stay prayed up, then I get the job done. Yeah, I'm Abigail's youth, but I'm God's son. But I'm up now, look at what God's done. No, real talk, look at what God did.
Good evening and welcome back to Soul Reflection. So last week we had a comment that said that fear is a spirit. Does anyone have any kind of thoughts regarding that?
I think I agree with that. In the sense that fear doesn't come from God, because God will never make you fearful. Like the week before, we spoke about how God doesn't give us a spirit of fear, but He gives us a spirit of love. I don't remember the rest, but yeah, like He doesn't give us fear. He gives us like those other things. So I think it's something that doesn't come from God. I do believe that it's a mentality where that we can escape. Um, but yeah, it doesn't come from God, and I think that's the element that I agree with. Um, but yeah, I think it's a mental state that we don't put ourselves in it, but it can like overwhelm us and overtake us. And yeah, that's where we also need to pray for faith instead of fear.
Okay. Tracy, how about you? Do you agree with that comment?
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think I agree to what Kezia said as well, as how it's also mentality, not just a spirit, and how it can overtake you. So yeah, I think faith can also be seen as a spirit, like a negative spirit and mentality. So if you accept it, it would overcome you. So I think as what Kezia said, by praying and by leaning to God, faith can be overcome. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I also agree with you guys, especially with the scripture reference Kezia said, which is Second Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, which says that which talks about the spirit of power, love, and of sound mind, of self-discipline. As the word refers to these as spirits, we're able to understand that fear is actually a spirit. It's a spirit that can overwhelm us, that can overtake us, that can eat into our mentality and into the way we move and the way we act and the way we do certain things. And so I completely agree with that. I think we had a few comments last week where people were kind of cheering us on this week as well. I'm not really seeing any questions that we can get into, but does anyone have any question that they have regarding faith that we can also pose to the audience, or any maybe closing remarks because we're about to end the show soon? No,
I don't think so.
no. Okay, okay. So I think to sum this show up or this episode up, I'm going to just repeat Hebrews 11, chapter 1. Yeah, Hebrews chapter 1, verse 11, which says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And us being alive alone is the evidence of God. Us breathing alone is the substance, because we always hope for life. Everybody, even if you don't hope for life, one family member of yours is hoping that you continuously live, that you prosper. And so there's this saying we have in Ghana where a person says, if we have life, we have hope. And so that is faith alone. By being human beings, by living, by breathing, by having certain abilities, being capable of so many things, even if you're praying or you're in a time of wait on God and you're not getting the answers, the fact that you're alive alone is the evidence of God, is the substance of God's goodness and His mercies. And so that alone is faith. And so, as we've said, it's very important to. Hezi, do you have something to say?
Oh no.
Okay, so okay. So as we've said, you have to continuously pray. You have to continuously read your Bible, because the Bible is the tangibility of God. You can see so many stories, you can see so many journeys that people had with God, where He revealed Himself to them, where He helped them and guided them and aided them into their prosperity. And then you can see other things as well in other people's journeys, people who veered away from God, people who didn't necessarily have enough faith as well. And so, as well, by praying, by listening to testimonies of other people, by clinging to God, by having the fear of God, that is wisdom on its own. And so, those are our closing remarks that faith is very real. The fact that you have life alone is the tangibility of God. So, we'd like to thank everyone that has been our audience for participating, for leaving us lovely comments. God bless you all for watching, interacting with us. For our sponsors, I'm going to say our sponsors again. We have Speedlink door-to-door shipping from UK to Ghana. Speedlink Travel and Freight Limited. It specializes in sea freight services. They're a number one company for hassle-free and super efficient delivery of your goods from the UK to Ghana. Into Mapapafi, they say shop our premium, authentic clothing made from high quality materials available in both the UK and Ghana. E-media, your go-to media solution for top-notch graphic design, website development, and broadcast services. Honey's authentic Ghanaian restaurant, where you can get all your Ghanaian authentic foods. I've tried it so many times and I love it there. And we would like to say a big thank you to Kingdom Keys Chapel, and especially to the head of Kingdom Keys Chapel, Prophet Isaac Osei, for giving us this opportunity to bring to you soul reflection, unveiling the spirit beyond deed. Thank you for joining us.
Mm.
Running around topless, my phone flips, then I tell him that we got this. This is God's plan, they can never stop this. Like, wait right there, could you stop my verse? You saved this kid and I'm not your first. It's not by blood and it's not by birth, but oh my God, what a God I serve.
Lord, I've been broken, although I'm not worthy. You fixed me, I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me, Lord, I've been broken.
Although I'm not worthy, you fixed me, I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
Lord, I've been broken, although I'm not worthy. You fixed me, now I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
One time for the Lord, and one time for the cause. And one round of applause, one time for Fraser T. Smith on the chords. I